this were able to air, it would be airing on August 8th for Spotlight, and it would be, on Spotlight. So, you're going to need to subscribe to that for the full details. All right, so, we are going to look into that very much in depth, hopefully, with Caitlin, if we can get her on, which would be incredible. So the Daily Caller and The View's Meghan McCain are now warning, as we turn the tide here, of Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and unimaginable horrors that reside with her. So we have a 1-2 punch of people freaking out over Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. This should be good. And this is like literally a month. Literally. Today, as I'm recording this is a month after she was elected. So just take it in here, people. The fear is washing over everyone. First, now we turn to The View's Meghan McCain, and she has some interesting things to say about this. And first, you can hear her co-host interject as well, which would be interesting. So first here, you are going to hear Joy Behar of The View.
More like, isn't democratic socialism very close to liberalism? I mean,
no.
Well, think about it for a second. Medicare, Social Security, garbage collection, the post office, the library,
I agree with you.
Department. That's all democratic socialism.
We have
all right, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause this clip a little bit. So Joy Behar is probably the most left-wing person. No, I shouldn't say probably. She is definitely the most left-wing person on that table of relatively idiotic people. And so, it's The View, and you can see they cut to the three panelists on the side. There's a middle one who's about to read Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's platform out there on live TV, which is pretty good stuff, exposure, obviously. And then you can see Meghan McCain in the corner, John McCain's daughter, and heiress to a huge fortune from beer. John McCain married into a family incredibly wealthy from selling alcoholic beverages. Here is Sunny Hostin reading the platform.
Asked her this question about what do you mean by being a democratic socialist, and she went over her platform. She says Medicare for all, fully funded public schools and universities,
love it,
paid family and sick leave, good, justice system reform, immigration justice, infrastructural overhaul, clean campaign finance, an economy of peace, housing as a human right.
Well,
I don't know.
It's a really successful country.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, so it's like Joy Behar's like, what's wrong with that? Like, that sounds pretty good to me. I like my economy of peace. I like paid sick leave. And then Meghan McCain's like, my trust fund will be. I should say this more like Meghan McCain. My beer trust fund will not be cut into. I will not have it. I worked so hard for this money. I sat 9 months in my mother's womb before I inherited all her money from her trust fund. So she wants to push back on this for a few seconds, and this is going to be good.
This makes my head explode, which, by the way,
God.
I hope Democrats do run a democratic socialist.
Do you hope that we win? Do you want the Democrats?
No, because I think
yes, Joy Behar.
Spectacularly, and then I will look forward to election night when I finally get to tell everybody I told you so.
So she's pretty much just like, please, please, please. Like, I mean, she has to know that this is going to have a better chance of winning than what Hillary Clinton is running, because that's pretty much a chance between Republican light and Republican major, and people are always going to choose the more Republican than the pretend Republican, which is really, if you think about it, what Hillary Clinton, she was not for real. She was good on social issues, but she was not bold, she wasn't daring, she wasn't to the left, and especially after the election of Donald Trump, that is not going to cut it anymore. This kind of a half and half, kind of third way type leftism.
End up running a radical. Problem with socialism, in the words of Margaret Thatcher, at a certain point.
Here comes the talking point. So, in the words of Margaret Thatcher, at a certain point,
run out of spending other people's money.
Boom!
Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world.
And you gotta love this. She's like waving her finger around Venezuela. Like every single Fox News host, the moment they talk about Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, they should put on a shirt that says, "What about Venezuela?" Because that's literally the only thing they can say to come up against
world in the 70s. Now,
she says one of the richest countries in the world in the 70s. Not true.
the average Venezuelan has lost 24 pounds because they're starving to death. 90% of the country is living in poverty.
I think she's talking more about Scandinavia than Venezuela.
You think?
I'm sorry. This is what I need from her. Name one country that socialism has ever worked, and also every democratic socialist who is going on TV saying that it's good needs to start paying 90% in taxes.
Iceland.
On your tax form. No, on your tax form.
On your tax form.
I think you should start paying the amount of taxes that every socialist in this country thinks you need to, because if you think the government is so good at spending money, look at the VA.
Hold on a second.
Because it is dangerous.
I just told you several countries that do it.
I'm sorry.
Hold on a minute.
Hold on, everybody. God bless you all.
I hate that bell.
Hold on. I know you hate the bell. Then everybody stop talking over each other, and I won't hit the bell.
With a population
Don't
of
make her turn this car
300,000
around.
people, in no
Yeah.
way can be related in any way comparably to the United States of America. I'm sorry.
All right,
If you
go
think
ahead.
it's good, then you need to be paying the amount of tax.
Wait, hold
Everybody
on.
stop talking over each other, and I won't hit the
Countries
bell.
with a population
Don't
of
make her turn this car
300,000
around.
people.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you gotta love that. She goes on to say, like, a population of 300,000 people is not at all similar to the. And by the way, I'm not sure the country has. Does Denmark actually? Sweden population. Excuse me here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's like 9.903 million people. Norway has 5.02 million, but still. Like, it's the same thing. I mean, I get what she's saying there. The point is, Finland has 5 million as well, 5.4 million, and it's just the same ridiculous point. Like, if you don't think that as America, would you always say it's the best country in the world? We do so many good things. Like, you don't think we can find a way to replicate these sets, blow things up on a bigger scale? We have enough money for these the big two programs that you think, oh, so socialist, everyone's going to run out of money. Like, we have enough money for these programs that she's talking about here. I just don't get, like, why? Because these programs are actually literally more economically successful, more economically beneficial than anything they have to offer in terms of what we have now. Like, it's more economically smooth. It saves the healthcare system saved $10 trillion, and the college program also saves money. I just don't know how much, but I know it's definitely better than the awful system we have now. And these other things, they should really be no-brainers. Like, they really should be no-brainers. Like, you can't just say socialist and make sure, and people can't just think of Stalin when someone says socialist, because that's strawmanning. That's not the way things actually are. I mean, either you're an idiot and you don't know that, or you deliberately misinforming people, because that, as a conservative, you can't just say Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is equivalent to Stalin. Like, these policies, the two big policies, which everyone thinks are such a big deal, is the college plan and the Medicare for All plan. And these are better economically than anything that we have in place right now. And that's literally all she wants to do. She does not want to take control. She says, I want to be an authoritarian leader like the one we have, by the way, right now. Who's literally, and we're going to do this in a minute, but is banning people from asking him questions at press briefings. And they're very good questions, and it's a shame they're not being answered, but we'll get to that. And, like, she just wants to make people's lives better. And that is the incredible thing that, and I think we could play probably a little bit more of this from The View here. That's the incredible thing. Like, they just are being either so dishonest or they just sound ridiculous. And people are just getting owned by that. People are just getting completely freaked out by that. And just like we get this story in a minute about the Daily Caller warning of, quote unquote, the horrors of going to an Alexandria Ocasio Cortez rally in Kansas. But this is like, you do get what you're doing. You're reading your platform out on air. You're saying, okay, these people, she's making policies that make people's lives better. Social programs, people can be healthier that way. Like, that's going to be pretty tough to say against. Like, what she's doing is she's actually, and you're going to see this in a minute, She's actually forcing conservatives to people, forcing conservatives to say that, oh wait, this is something that you should not have. You do not deserve the right to health care. And people are going to say, well, I don't deserve it. What are the conservatives say then? All they have for you is just more fear-mongering, more this is going to be socialism. What about Venezuela? This like when the world goes down, or when democratic socialists like Bernie Sanders, Cortez, all the others, when they come to power, all the conservatives are going to be saying, what about Venezuela? Like, that's all they're going to say. Because that's all they have to counteract a platform that actually wants to make people's lives better.
In no way can be related in any way comparably to the United States of America. I'm sorry. If you think it's good, then you need to be paying the amount of taxes that in socialistic countries.
Let her get her thing and go ahead.
Because it's petrifying to me that this is being normalized.
All right.
It's petrifying to me. It's petrifying that my trust fund may be cut into. Like, that's all that is there. Like, because she did her requisite Fox News segment watch before coming on to talk about this, because she actually seems semi-relatively informed in what the conservative talking points are on this matter. So she's like, oh my gosh, I'm just petrified that it's going to be normalized. It's all is because it's just decades and decades of right-wing fear-mongering on this issue. And it's literally, if you look at her platform, and you actually honestly look at her platform from no other point of view, from taking out the fact that she says she's a democratic socialist, and you actually look about what she is saying, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. She just wants to make people's lives better. She just wants to improve them. And Meghan McCain sees her taxes raised, and she does not like that at all. That's the only story behind her reaction here.
Go ahead.
Hey, so you're saying you run out of people's money,
Margaret
people's money, Margaret Thatcher.
I didn't say that.
They have just given this enormous tax break to the very, very wealthy in this country. Mm-hmm. That tax break doesn't have to be so generous to those really rich people, does it?
Like
because
Meghan
if
McCain.
you don't give that money to them, what happens to that money? Better schools, better post office,
I'm sorry.
better garbage pickup, better
Exactly.
So good at running things, then the post office is a great run business.
One more word.
The VA, I'm sorry, comparing the United States of America to a small country in Europe is delusional.
Joy,
and I'm sorry, some of us do not
Behar
want
just like
socialism
puts
to
her
be normalized
hand
in
on
this
there.
country.
I am an example. Wait, can I finish?
Pay 70% of taxes.
Yeah, that was just about a it's like a CNN cat fight right there, like that they like to have. But anyway, yeah. So that's the end of that clip there. Wow, that was pretty intense. But anyway, it's really quite an incredible situation. Like that, this is what they're fear-mongering over. It's just like all fear-mongering. Like she just says, we're just gonna lower some tax. We're just gonna raise the taxes on some rich people. And McCain's like, me, no, please. Like that's all her reaction is there. I mean, what an idiot. Anyway, yeah, so conservative websites like Daily Caller were best known for its nauseating hot women slideshows. Yeah, that actually exists. This is a Tucker Carlson website. 13 Syrian refugees who would take immediately. And then, while the Daily Caller, this is an actual list of hot Syrian refugees, and it's this is the introduction reads, while a growing list of governors are claiming they won't allow Syrian refugees to enter their states, we think these women might make them change their minds. These are seriously hot. Oh, I get it. That's funny. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's some awful stuff. Yeah, so, yeah, that's not it. They have the hot women Syrian refugee slideshows and post, like, rate which of Hillary Clinton's outfits was the most heinous. So they sent an editor, this fine journalistic bastion. Yeah, Andy Caputo has got that one. Yeah, and it's just roasting Hillary Clinton's outfits so well. So yeah, so this incredible journalistic outfit, this rag